Hands up who's terrified when they see a customer walk to their nail desk with nails like this.
In this lesson, I'm going to show you how you can tailor your nail forms to perfectly fit a short and bitten or problematic nail such as this. First of all, we need to address what kind of bitten nail we are dealing with on our customer. So this would be your typical bitten nail. And this would be absolutely fine to create a nail enhancement on. If we have any blood or if we have revealed the nail bed and it is cut, we should not put an enhancement on this nail until that has healed. The other kind of nail biter you'll find is one where you have a fleshy pad like this. They have more tissue underneath, and I will show you later in the tutorial how you can just make a few small amendments to fit a nail biter like this too. So to fit your form to your nail biter, you're going to take your form. My favourite nail forms are the Crystal Nails Butterfly nail forms. And these are great for creating any salon shapes, whether it's almond, square, squoval, even Russian almonds and shapes like that. So first of all, I'm going to take the form off the backing paper. And I'm going to take the tab and place this on the back of the nail form. It's important that you make sure that this is straight. What we don't want to do is have this at an angle, because what this will do when you close your nail form, it will not close straight. One of the most important things to remember when you're creating an enhancement on a nail biter is not to leave them any little nicks or bits that they are able to then pick on, because what you want to do, the aim of creating enhancements on a nail biter is to help them break the habit and have long nails. So once we've placed that, I also actually leave a gap here. The reason I leave a gap here, make sure the tab is placed further towards this side, is because I need to cut and tailor this part of the nail form. If this tab is closer to where I will need to tailor and cut the free edge, what I will do is leave a step and product may seep down. So I'm going to turn the form back over. I'm just going to demonstrate this for a square shape. However, you can just alter this for whichever shape you're doing, because the way that we are going to tailor it will be the same for any shape that you create for a nail biter. So I've just lightly closed my nail form together like this, and this will allow me to place it onto the nail to see what adjustments we need to make sure it fits. So we are going to place this up towards the nail. And we can see that here and here we have got some nail gaps. So we need to remove these to allow us to get the perfect fit. Because if we do not remove these, product will run down here and here, which is going to touch the skin and potentially cause allergies. And someone that's a nail biter may be more prone to this because they will have more sensitive skin. It will be open, and having open skin may allow allergies to happen faster. What you will also get is a lip and a step here of your product, and this will cause irritation to the client, so even your non-nail biters will want to pick excess product off. So you must make sure that this gap and this cut here is absolutely seamless. What we're going to do is take the KB Form Tailoring White Gel Pen, and the reason I recommend a white gel pen is because the white pen glides along the nail form with ease. If it is a biro, it will leave a dent, and if it's a black pen, it may leave a mark. So we are just going to draw around the shape of this free edge. So it doesn't matter how uneven this is, whether it's extremely jaggedy, by us drawing round we will get the exact cuts that we need to make. I'm going to remove this nail form and then use KB curved form tailoring scissors to cut around that template that we have just made. Make sure that you cut exactly in the lines that you've created, otherwise when you fit it again you'll have a small gap still. It is also essential that you place it in exactly the same place that it was when you drew around it. Otherwise, if I now pop that down, we would have a gap. Or again, if I place it a little bit up, we'd have gaps at the side. So I can now see, as I do that, I have closed all the gaps and we've now got no gaps. So something that can be quite common on a nail biter is an extended hypernychium. And this can be a little bit uncomfortable when the nail form is on. So once you've got that sealed gap, what you may need to do, if you look here, you can see where the skin is protruding at the back of the nail. All you need to do on your nail form is take your curved scissors and cut out the tiniest little U or V shape. By doing this, when you place it back on the nail, because it's so small it won't leave a gap, but what it will do is just relieve the pressure on the skin behind and won't cause your client any discomfort. So you will see the gaps are now closed, but what I need to do is I now need to cut the sides. So I need to make cuts from where the natural nail has started, and then outwards I'm able to close this form and get a really tight C curve to help with the strength and also the aesthetics of the bitten nail. What we don't want to do is be making a very flat nail that looks particularly wide, that the customer is not going to be keen on the aesthetics of and may be tempted to continue biting. What is also important to remember when working on a nail biter is that we do not extend the nail any more than 50% of this nail plate. So if the nail is very short like this to this line, then we would not make it any longer than this. It's important to do this because what we don't want to do is put excess pressure on the nail plate that is remaining and cause further breakage. If the customer wishes to grow their nails and have them long, this can be a process. So the points that we need to cut at are where this natural free edge starts. So it's here and here. So you can make a mark with your pen, you can make a small cut with your straight scissors. So these are the KB straight form tailoring scissors. I prefer to make a little cut with the scissors. Now you can make this cut while the form is on, but in all honesty, it's easier just to pop it off. Get your straight scissors and come at a 45-degree angle from the center point here. So cut at a 45-degree angle. On this nail form, this is to the 3. And what you do on one side, you should always repeat on the other. We're going to now open up the sides and place this back on the nail. You can see I'm being gentle, I'm not forcing it under. Lightly adhering the tabs, opening up the sides, and then fully closing the nail form underneath. And then you can just adjust it, use your scissors to tuck under any corners if necessary. Now if the nail is a little bit wider, and when we discussed earlier when you have the fleshy pads underneath, what you may find is when you try and close your nail form fully that you get the nail form bouncing out like this. What you don't want is the nail form to be doing that, because if it does, what happens when we put our product on, the form is going to bounce out and we're actually going to end up with a weakness in our enhancement. This is potentially going to give a lip that the customer will pick, or we're going to end up filing through it and we're going to cause a weakness and the nail will break. So there's just one simple step that you need to do to achieve success when you are working with a fleshier nail biter. You need to just make this cut on this form to the 4. So instead of a 45-degree angle, you may be doing this from a 35 to a 25, depending how wide the finger is. So the more fleshy this is, the more we need to bring the cut this way, because when we then close it, we will avoid the fleshy part of the finger and it will no longer bounce out. So you can do this when the form is on. If you realise when you've closed it that you're having issues with this, all we need to do is come from that starting point and cut a small additional triangle out of that nail form. This will then allow me to close the form a little bit more underneath. Whatever you do on one side, you must make sure you repeat it on the second side. And once we've done that, we can just make sure this is tucked underneath and close that nail form right up.
When working on a nail biter with a fleshy pad, you can also cut the tab straight across and place this at the free edge gap. This will help press down on the fleshy pad.
And you can see how we would get a really slim enhancement on that nail biter. All the gaps are closed, so they're going to have nowhere that they can pick, and your clients will love you for achieving a nail enhancement like this for them.